Welcome back to the Jersey Oddcast, where local news meets a little chaos, a lot of commentary, and just enough odd to keep things interesting. With Joseph F. Berenato, Gabriel J. Donio, it's me, Gina Rullo, and we've got a full slate today. From transportation headaches and government updates to school sports wins, environmental issues, pop culture, and one very colorful New Jersey odd fact you do not want to miss. We'll talk a little bit about everything: girls basketball on a winning streak, a meeting you probably didn't end but should care about, and a couple of community events worth getting out of the house for. So buckle up. This is South Jersey after all. Let's get into it. Gentlemen, how was your weekend?
Eventful. How was yours?
Not that interesting. What'd you have going on, Joe?
On Saturday, we had a 10th birthday party for my granddaughter, and it was held in the very grand old tradition as the presentation on the first step to the coming out party at 18, like they did in the South. She requested that her grandfather escort her into the party in his white tuxedo jacket, and what Piper wants, Piper gets.
Okay.
So I had a
Nice.
thank you. I had my white tux jacket. I had a lavender tie and vest. Escorted her into the affair. She gave a speech thanking everybody for coming and about how she pledges to be kind, be a good citizen, continue learning. She did her very first public curtsy, and then there were lots of pictures and food and cake and so forth.
Nice.
Uh,
That is eventful.
Yeah, and
That
she
is
just
eventful.
was beaming the entire time. Looked stunning, like a little princess. It was great.
Did she wear like a
A
puffy
gown.
dress?
She had the whole. She picked the colors,
Okay.
and lavender was her color, and she had lavender underneath with tulle, white tulle, and then there
Okay.
were like little butterflies on the whatever you call the bottom part of the gown, the bell. Yeah, first time wearing a
Cute bodice
crinoline.
skirt.
Yeah, first time wearing a crinoline underneath it in public,
Aw.
the whole nine. Yeah. She had it. I am told that 10 is too young to wear a tiara, but she had on a headband that was similar to a tiara.
Okay.
Tiaras are reserved, I am told, for 18 and older. I am not as well versed in Emily Post, so I just nod and go along with whatever I'm told.
And did you have a dance with her too, or what else was your role required?
My role was to walk her in, stand by her as she curtsied, then walk her over to the podium, stand beside her as she spoke, and then she presented flowers to her great grandmother, the matriarch of the family. I handed her the flowers, and then there endeth my role. There were a few times where I exited the room, and before I could make my way back, I was mistaken for an employee. I guess because I was wearing a tuxedo jacket,
Oh,
and
a
how many
tuxedo jacket.
yeah, and how many of those get worn to like the Gourmet in Galloway? But
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
That's where it was held. The gourmet. Okay.
Now, did her
That's a fun
mother,
day.
her grandmother, and great grandmother also have this type of event?
her no, I her mother did not. Her mother had a regular 10th birthday party. I don't believe that her grandmother did, but she was the one who was raised with all of the etiquette lessons.
Okay.
And her great grandmother, that was not a part of her culture growing up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because it's not part of mine being from New York, so I'm just very curious about it.
Yeah. No, it's not part of mine being from Hammonton either,
And a
but
dude.
that
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
But it's nice to see these traditions getting handed down. And
Yeah. And everybody had a great time. Everybody clapped for her, whistled, hollered when after she curtsied and after she gave her speech. Everybody treated her correctly. It was wonderful.
And how was the food?
Very good.
That's all
Very
that
good.
matters at the end
Yeah.
of the day. Was there cake?
She had her own little cake, and then everybody else had a dessert bar with eclairs and little tiny like cupcakes and so forth.
Nice.
So
Our weekend was not that eventful, Gabe, compared to that.
no, there was no curtsying, just some football. Stopped by Bagley Annie's for some provisions. It was a nice weekend, though. A good time.
Yeah. Very
okay,
relaxed on our end.
very nice.
But that's okay. Last week, a report came out, a preliminary report regarding the helicopter crash. Is that correct?
That is indeed correct. The National Transportation Safety Board, or NTSB, has released a preliminary report regarding the helicopter crash in Hammonton at approximately 11:25 a.m. on December 28, 2025, that took the lives of two private helicopter pilots, 71-year-old Michael Mitch Greenberg of Sewell and 65-year-old Kenneth Kirsch of Carneys Point. According to the report, the two pilots were leaving Hammonton Municipal Airport, where they had breakfast at the Apron Cafe, to return to Vineland Downtown Airport and were approximately a mile and a half into a roughly 16-mile flight. The report noted that video of the trip showed the helicopters, quote, slightly staggered from one another and flying on a similar heading similar to a formation flight. However, the report said, quote, as the flight continued, the helicopters converged until they contacted one another. The main rotor of Kirsch's helicopter had a mark that was consistent with a paint transfer from Greenberg's tail rotor blade. One of the helicopters started a tumbling descent before leaving the video. The other, the report said, pitched up sharply before leveling out. Shortly after, the helicopter began yawing in a clockwise direction and descended rapidly until it exited the video frame. The collision, the report said, created a debris path that was approximately 1,200 feet long, and Kirsch's helicopter crashed approximately 900 feet into that path. Greenberg's helicopter was approximately 270 feet from Kirsch's aircraft. According to the report, the sky was overcast that day, but visibility was approximately 10 miles, and the investigation is ongoing.
Just tragic.
It's awful.
Very sad to hear. Now of what probably happened.
Yeah, but what I find interesting is that if you read between the lines, what it doesn't say is that while they acknowledge what happened, they still don't know why.
Or how it happened, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And I don't know, it feels like maybe they'll never know because there is no one to tell them anything. Hey, this blank gust of wind, a human error, like we might not know.
No, and private helicopters like that aren't fitted with black boxes, so it's not like they could even pull that to get more information.
Oh, okay. That I did not know.
Yeah.
What has a black box?
Bigger craft, commercial craft. Like, I don't think like prop planes that fly in and out of the airport, I don't think they have a black box. It's usually on a larger scale.
One of my friends became engaged on a helicopter ride after helicopter ride around Hawaii, like around like a what do you call it, a volcano there, I think it was. And I was talking to her about the accident, and she goes, "Yeah, I'll never do that again."
Mm-hmm.
No,
Yeah.
helicopters have
Have,
always scared me for that reason.
have you ever been in one? Like,
No,
me
no,
neither.
I have never voluntarily, never airlifted anywhere. I know people who have been in choppers, but not me. Never.
Let's go back, guys, almost 29 years. Oh my God, that feels awful to say. And do you
Why?
remember
Why?
when we first started the paper, there
Yeah.
was the big fire in the Pinelands, and Governor Whitman came, and two of our people went up in one, and they did not tell us, did not tell Gabe and I ahead of time. And I remember I was like only 20 then. I was horrified because the person who was one of the people going up was an intern. And I was like, oh no, no.
Yeah.
Like,
That was crazy.
and I'm like,
Oh,
please be careful. And I don't, do you remember, Gabe, did they actually go up or did they think?
I don't remember did they get in the air with Whitman?
I
I don't
don't remember,
remember.
but I just remember being horrified. Like, please no.
They were gonna do it. Or that they were invited to do it.
Yeah. I was
I
like,
don't
oh
remember if
gosh.
they did do it. That's something we could check that. I'm sure.
Yeah, I'll have to find out. But yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So whenever I hear that, I'm like, oh, so many like opportunities. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
yeah.
It also reminds me of Kobe Bryant passing, and which
Yeah,
Yeah,
makes me think.
helicopter flying they say it's a safe way to travel. You look at incidents like these and it gives people pause for sure.
Yeah, statistically, it's the safest way of travel when you figure out how many people travel in the air versus how many incidents there are, but there's still too many for me to be comfortable with.
Yeah.
So there was this whole thing online last week or 2 weeks ago that if the Buffalo Bills win I think it's Buffalo Bills, or it could be the Bears. I don't know. It's some team. I don't really know. It's football. If they win the Super Bowl, it's going to reset the timeline of that we've been off of. And I'm just like, okay. And it's going to set everything back. Okay. It's the Bears. Sorry.
That bears.
And, yeah.
Up
And I'm
there.
like, and I'm like, Okay, is this to bring people who are not football people into watching to get them excited? Hey, if this happens, but it's going to reset our timeline since before the Kobe Bryant accident, I believe.
Oh, okay. So basically, they're hoping that the Super Bowl is going to be like the Enchantment Under the Sea dance, and as long as we get Lorraine and George to kiss, everything will
Yeah,
be okay. All right, I'll
yeah.
take it. Great. Go Bears. Yeah, I'm cool with that.
So so again, this is being recorded before the Bears game because I think the Bears game is Sunday, January 18th. But we shall see. So I just want to make it noted that if the world resets and our timeline resets, everything will be going back to a good thing,
Well,
I
according to
see.
internet conspiracy theorists.
the Pope is a Bears fan, right?
I don't know.
I think
I know
maybe.
he's Catholic. That's about. And he went to
Uh,
Villanova.
I think he's a Bears fan, so maybe they got a
Okay,
shot.
we'll see what happens. If you're looking to relocate your home or business to South Jersey, there's one realtor that we say to call.
That's Phil Carr and of Crowley and Carr Real Estate. And that if you're looking to buy or sell your home or commercial property in South Jersey, call Phil Carr, owner of Crowley and Carr Real Estate. Crowley and Carr is the best place in town to find the best place in town. Call them at 609-561-0505 or go to Facebook or Instagram.
Thanks, Gabe. Gabe, I see that the county is making a move with their online notices, with their public notices, excuse me.
That's correct, Gina. It's the shift that we had heard about for many years is now coming to pass. And there was a post that was done on January 15th by the county, and they said this was by Palma Conover, County of Atlantic. And she said, please be advised, effective March 1st, 2026, the official and definitive source for all legal and public notices for the County of Atlantic will be the public notices section of the county's website located at uh, www.atlanticcountynj.gov/public notices. All legal and public notices posted online will remain accessible to the public at no charge. The website will also maintain an archive of past notices as required by law. This change is being made in compliance with New Jersey PL 2025 C72, which recognizes that online publication provides more accessible and cost effective access to public information for a greater number of New Jersey residents. That's a quote from that post.
Release.
If there's from that release, for any questions or further information, please contact the county purchasing office, and that's by order of the county executive of the county of Atlantic, Danny Levinson. So that is the change. That's a big change from using
Mm-hmm.
newspapers for legal notices to having these public notices online only, where you have to go to a website and search for them instead of them being in the actual newspaper. That's effective March 1st.
How do you guys feel about that?
I am not surprised by that. I know the three of us had talked offline last year when the state passed that legislation, and we saw this coming.
We've
And
seen it come for the last 15 years, I want to say.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I'm not surprised by it. I think that more and more municipalities are going to move this way as well, in now that the law allows them to do. And I think that's going to further hurt print media in general. There are some people who just pick up newspapers, whatever it is, to see what's in the legal section. So I understand it. I do, because they're public notices and people shouldn't have to pay anything to read public notices. I'm sad to see that this is another chink in the armor for the continuation of print media. And what I'll be interested to see, because I have not looked, is if the county's website will have a way to sign up for notifications for updates to the public notice section. And if it is not currently available, then Mr. Levinson, I suggest that to make it even more accessible, allow people to sign up for it.
Yeah, and
That's not a bad idea.
accessibility is an issue. I think it remains an issue. They say it's more accessible online, but you have to go look for it. And that's
Yeah.
different than what getting a newspaper and opening it up to, as Joe said, the legal section and going right there and seeing the legals. Now you have to go out of your way to go look for it. Is that more accessible? I don't know. I don't get the sense that it is. I think that it's meant to undermine print media. And it certainly looks like a way of saying now we're saving taxpayer money, but we're also now I think it's limiting access. I don't think it provides more access. That's just my opinion.
That's a valid one. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think for me, it's going to be we'll see what happens with this, what comes next. Are we going to start seeing this all the way down the line? You know what I mean? And there are certain newspapers out there that that rely very heavily on legal ad revenue and that they charge extras and maybe they got a little bit out of hand, charging for affidavits, charging for delivery, things like that. I think there were some other things that may have caused this rather than being a cost effective solution. Finding the balance. Do you know what I mean? That I think a
Hmm.
newspaper had it was their obligation. And that's how we approached it when we were in the business. You know what I mean? We understood that this was a service we were providing and we wanted to keep the price low for the taxpayers. We hand delivered to the local municipality and a couple others, and other ones we mailed out, but we didn't charge for that, and we never charged for the affidavits for the municipalities or the school districts when we were present in the newspaper business.
Yeah, it
So
was
I
not
don't know.
our goal to
Other
make
people took,
money off
yeah,
legal notices. It was our goal.
Right.
We consider that part of the service of owning a local newspaper.
yeah, but
Yeah.
things change. You know what I mean? I can't keep everything the same, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Route 54 project, which at this point feels less like a road project and more like a long-term lifestyle commitment. What's going on, Gabe?
It's interesting. It's been postponed. So Route
Shocking.
54
What?
daytime closures in both directions in Hammonton, Atlantic County, detours between Liberty Street and Valley Avenue have been postponed, according to a release issued on January 16th. This is interesting. Let me get right into it. The Route 54 closure between Liberty Street to Valley Avenue that was scheduled for this week as part of a pavement resurfacing and rehabilitation project in Hammonton, Atlantic County is being postponed. NJDOT will provide advance notice when the work is rescheduled. The $8.7 million federally funded Route 54 Atlantic City Expressway to Route 30 Whitehorse Pike pavement resurfacing and rehabilitation project will make repairs on approximately 3 miles of Route 54 in Hammonton, Atlantic County. Work includes milling and paving, improvements to the drainage systems, utility relocation, and installation of new sidewalks and ADA compliant curb ramps. Improvements will also be made to various intersections throughout the project limits, including traffic signal upgrades. The project is expected to be completed in spring 2027. So, right now, there's going to be essentially a postponement of that. And that's motorists are encouraged to check NJDOT's traffic information website at 511nj.org for construction updates and real time information. And for NJDOT News follow, they can be followed on Twitter, X, at New Jersey DOT, or the NJDOT Facebook page, or Instagram at New Jersey.dot. So there's the precise timing of the work, they say, is subject to change due to weather or other factors, and variable messaging signs are being utilized to provide advance notification to the motoring public of all traffic pattern changes associated with the work. So this is where it is. This has been postponed. It doesn't say why. It just says it's been postponed.
I can remember when the project was initially announced and it was projected to be completed by spring of 2025. So,
Right.
yeah.
This is the garden state. Things take a little longer to come to fruition. We just had to be patient. I thought it was a little strange that they were going to be doing this project. It was supposed to start on Monday, January 19th. I thought it was a weird time of year to be doing this kind of work, so I was skeptical from the beginning.
I thought that maybe they were planning to go through and at least cut down the trees that had been marked that are going to be irreparably harmed during the repaving work, because there's a couple of trees in that block section that are marked with X's that will need to come down. I didn't think they were going to be doing anything huge and major with utility work. It's only a block, but I thought maybe that, because I could understand that this time of year. Okay,
Yeah.
we can't do the utility work. Get these trees out of the way, because we were supposed to do that last year, but then bats moved into them and we had to wait. And those trees were supposed to come down in October, and they're still there.
Yeah. And we have to get this work done before the bats start populating again,
Yeah.
correct?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
otherwise, they're going to be protected during their birthing and mating seasons. And then that'll be another 4 months where the trees can't be touched. So,
Yeah, that's
like
really.
every,
There seems like there's every month there's another reason not to advance this thing.
yeah,
I
it
don't know.
feels like, I don't remember what the commercial was for. It might have been an insurance company, but it feels like the state is that guy with in the fishing gear with the pole, and he's, oh, you got to be quicker. Almost had it. Oh,
Right.
yeah.
And then by the time 2027 rolls around, they're going to be like, okay, great. Now we have to start the other end and restart this project.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. But I'm just grateful it's getting done. We'll keep an eye out on the state's website, which is where
Yeah.
I found this information because it was not online before we record this episode. Like I didn't see it on like the town's Facebook or anything like that.
Yeah, and at the very least, with the major project being postponed further, that does give the town more time, because I know that they're trying to coordinate replacement of water mains, I think from First Road to Second Road on 54
Right.
with the state project. So the longer the state takes to open that road, the more the town has to finalize the ins and outs of that particular project.
Who knows? Maybe the mayor and council got involved. Maybe we'll find out. Who
Yeah,
knows?
who knows? Not I, that's for sure.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of eyes, Gabe, where did you go Saturday? That's what we did this weekend.
I did. Yeah, I had an eye appointment and I went to Hammonton Family Eye Care. And they treated me so well. Dr. Hirsch over there and Helen and Marie, great people. And that's what you should do. See Hammonton Family Eye Care for routine and medical eye care for all ages, from glasses to contacts to eye exams and more. Visit Hammonton Family Eye Care at Peachtree Plaza, 80 South White Horse Pike in Hammonton. Call 609-567-7479 or go to hammontonfamilyeyecare.com.
Thank you. Joe, what's going on with the jail? The proposed jail for Ancora, which is right over the Hammonton border.
Yeah. The regional jail, proposed to be on the 650-acre grounds of Ancora Psychiatric Hospital, is moving forward, according to Camden County. According to reports, the jail, purported to be up and running by 2031, is currently a collaboration between Camden and Cumberland counties and will be run by a state authority. Atlantic County is still considering whether or not to join the project. Ross, and I apologize if I massacre this, Angelella, I believe is how you pronounce it. Ross Angelella, Camden County Administrator, told Atlantic County Commissioners that the regional jail is a sure thing because only 2 counties need to agree to join the project. Published reports note that the Regional Jail Authority, the aforementioned state authority or state entity, would oversee the regional jail and would levy property taxes in participating counties, removing the cost and supervision from county government. The project was made possible by state legislation passed 3 years ago and has already received $30 million in state funding just for the planning. According to reports, projected costs showed an initial annual cost of $238 million, which includes debt service for construction. The estimated cost for each of the 1,896 inmates is $345 a day, or more than $125,000 a year, and that is for each of them. And comparisons to current costs were not presented. So it's moving forward. Atlantic County has not committed one way or the other. Whether or not we sign on, it's still going to be constructed, and it's going to be between Camden and Cumberland counties. And I feel it important to note there is a difference between a jail and a prison, and we often use those terms interchangeably, but it's important to note the difference. Jails traditionally are for people who are holding a waiting trial or who are sentenced to 364 days or less. Prisons are for individuals who have been tried, convicted, and sentenced to 1 year or more. So when people call it a prison and they say that there's going to be gang members and there's going to be these horrible people, they may be while they're awaiting trial, but that is not where they get sentenced. County jails are for 364 days or less. Now, that may not make people feel a whole lot better, but I don't see a whole lot of kingpins and gangbangers being sentenced there indefinitely, for whatever that's worth.
There's going to be a lot of opposition to this project,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's been the consistent thing for people in Hammonton and Atlantic County who are near it. They've voiced their opposition pretty vehemently, so
Mhm.
that's a fact. People could argue, oh, you can say what you want, but it's a public project and this is what we want to do and how we want to do it. Some people will say there's even employment opportunities and things like that. I'm sure people will argue the positives of as much as you can of a jail. I think that there's people in Hamilton and the surrounding area who are skeptical about this project's positive impact in the area. I understand what you're saying about the type of people who are in it, but there's still it's a jail.
Yeah.
It's you're not building a hospital, you know.
No. No, and what I found interesting was the part that said that the state agency will be the one to levy. How was it? Levy property taxes in participating counties. There will be a line item jail tax essentially, and it will completely remove the cost and supervision from county government. What that also means is that county government will not have any control then over that line item, and that will be taken away from said county.
Mm.
In years past, states, municipalities, if you didn't like the way you were being taxed, you could vote that person out the next term and hope somebody else better comes in. With this being levied by the state, it's an entirely different animal, and that takes further agency away from the county insofar as levying taxes.
Right.
So again, it's one more thing that we lose control over.
Yes.
And you don't like it when we remove government from people. Like they keep separating them. Like every
Yeah.
layer we separate it. I
Yeah.
just feel personally for me that's problematic. And that is
Yeah.
my opinion. I'm
Yeah.
not a
And
fan.
one of the other things that I know members of law enforcement have raised, our own police chief has brought this up at
What's
Townsville.
a
Good
council?
heavens, I don't know.
Is that like a tonsil?
I had mine removed when I was 10. My tonsils
So
at
it's been brought up.
town council transportation of inmates to and from trial, going back and forth to Atlantic City. Now you've got this 30-mile stretch. They're not all at the same you're going to need buses going back and forth constantly. You're going to have them properly staffed, properly manned. You've got about 30 miles where anything can happen. Whereas when they were being transported back and forth from our county jail to the county courthouse in Mays Landing or to the one in Atlantic City, it was a much smaller distance, and it was not nearly the logistical nightmare that traveling from Atlantic City or even from Mays Landing to Ancora to pick up and transfer inmates for trial. It's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah, and I guess that
Yeah.
same is going to be true for going from one end of was it Cumberland and Camden counties,
Yeah,
Sure.
going from the furthest part of Camden County to this far eastern end of Camden County,
yeah,
and to go from the outer end. It's gonna be a pain in the tuchus.
yeah,
And I'm sure there's been probably a million studies about it, like all that, but I just wish we knew more. And I hope our local government keeps up the pressure on Atlantic County government to get more answers because I don't think they were given a lot of answers at the freeholder meeting, the commissioners meeting a couple months ago.
yeah,
Right. And again, they're going to try and argue, oh, it's a centralized location and da da da. But again, it's what Joe said, and what you guys are saying. It's a much longer ride for
mm-hmm.
these to transport these people. I don't know. It doesn't seem like the logistics of this are being completely considered. We'll see.
Yeah, it's like efficiency is not under.
Yeah, or if they have been fully considered, then there is very little transparency with it. There aren't a whole lot of answers to these questions.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens in time, and we'll just hopefully Joe, you'll be at the next council meeting. Maybe Mayor Forgione will bring it up, so we'll see.
We'll see.
And that is all we could do at this point.
Yeah, that's it.
But let's go to some really good news that as of, I think, the 16th, the Hammonton girls basketball was off to an awesome start.
Undefeated start, 12-0.
That is an awesome start, yeah.
Exciting stuff. Ryan Stager is the coach of this team, and there's been some write-ups there. The most really exciting game against Ocean City, where they won by 1 point, 56-55. After a 12-point halftime lead, they did wind up hanging on to win. That is exciting stuff, and they've moved to 12-0 overall as of January 16th, and 6-0 in the Cape Atlantic League National Division. So they've got some players who, like Olivia Ellis, who scored 24 points in that game against Ocean City, and she also scored 19 points in a win over Lower Cape May earlier in the season. And she continues to have a great performance. Sarah Griffith added 13 points, 5 blocks, and 4 steals, according to reports for the Blue Devils. So this is a team that's really winning and doing well. And as of the 16th of January, as of this recording, they are 12-0 basketball in Hammonton.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, now I'm excited for the team. I'm excited for Coach Stager, whose family has a long legacy in basketball locally.
Oh, yeah.
It's great. And, what a way to go. Start the start of the new year, start the season 12-0, and that's amazing.
Yeah, that fuels you up for the remainder of the season. You want to hold on to that record as much as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're right about the Stager tradition. As someone who attended the basketball camps as a kid at the elementary school, and then later remember playing and being coached by Don Stager, it's really nice to see this legacy continue.
Yeah, like I knew that man for a couple of years before I even knew what his first name was. I just knew him as Coach, like around town. Hey, Coach.
Yeah, so congrats to them. Very excited to see it and wish them the best of luck for the rest of their season.
Yeah.
A long-standing community partner for the people of Hammonton and the region has been Marinella Funeral Home.
That's right, Gina. The Marinella Funeral Home has been a longtime partner. They've been serving the community since 1962 and has been family owned and operated for 3 generations. Marinella Funeral Home provides individually designed burial, cremation, and pre-planned funeral services to meet the needs of each family. Ask them about how pre-planning provides true peace of mind to your family. Contact the Marinella Funeral Home located at 102 North 3rd Street in Hammonton at 609-561-1311.
Joe, I think a lot of people are looking forward to spring and getting their properties ready, and maybe that includes a new fence.
It might. For more than 40 years, Masterwire Manufacturing Fence Company has been providing the South Jersey and tri-state area with residential and commercial fence supplies and services. Whether you're looking for quality products to do it yourself or are in need of a trustworthy fencing company to install your fence, they've got you covered. Masterwire Manufacturing Fence Company provides the highest quality products and customer service to each and every person who walks through their doors or gives them a call. Contact Masterwire at 609-567-1616 or visit their website at masterwirefence.net.
Thanks, Joe. Now, Joe, I'm going to ask you to talk about this next segment, and it's going to be a little hard because we got to get your ego in check.
What? I have no ego.
There's a new title, isn't there? Can we talk about that?
Yeah, I think you told me I had to call you chairman now every time we talk. Yeah.
You know what? I'll take that. I'm going to start wearing my fedora to every meeting and then take it off right before the meeting starts.
Your hat off indoors. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Look, like Ed Marinelli used to yell at people who wore their hat to meetings, so why should
Right.
I be any different? Yeah, as we discussed, I believe it was last week, longtime commissioner and chair of the Environmental Commission, Dan Bachalis, was not reappointed. For reasons that surpass understanding at the January 14th meeting, I was nominated and unanimously approved as the new chair of the Hammonton Environmental Commission.
Congratulations, Joe.
Thank you. Thank you. Terry Cafiso is the vice chair and has been vice chair for a very long time. JD Calderon is our new council liaison. And I got to tell you, that chair is surprisingly comfortable. It was the first time I sat in it. I can see why Steve DiDonato didn't want to give it up for 16 years. That is a comfortable chair, literally. But yeah,
I have so many jokes that I will not be making.
that's quite all
Yeah.
right.
I'm sitting in that chair 16 years, maybe letting it go to your head. I don't know. I feel like I could do a riff.
I'm just saying that the chair itself was surprisingly comfortable. The meeting itself lasted about 31 minutes because I can run a meeting, and that included 2 tree permits and a finalized list of questions for a site plan review that we had started in October, and that is for a proposed proposed strip commerce and warehouse project with 10,800 office square feet, 15,223 retail square feet, and 158,090 warehouse square feet at the corner of Basin Road and the White Horse Pike. So that is a massive proposed structure. We had a list of questions and concerns that we discussed at the meeting, so it's public information about stormwater runoff, drainage, water reclamation, what is going to be stored at the warehouse, what the warehouse is going to be used for, trash pickup, recyclables, and so forth. So we sent those off to the applicant, and we're awaiting a reply so that we can make our proper recommendations to the planning board.
How do you feel about it?
I am reserving judgment until I receive the answers to the concerns, but that's definitely going to change the landscape over there if it is
Yeah,
approved by the planning board and the
the
zoning board.
scale of that project is like you're talking about like nearly 200,000 square feet. That's
Yeah.
all in, and that's way different than the scale of that area of the White Horse Pike, as we know.
Yeah, like that's going to be on par or bigger if my math is right than Atlantic Care across the street from it.
Yeah, and it'll dwarf a lot of the smaller businesses that are in that area. Unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's interesting to get it out there from now so that people do know this is a project that is potentially coming for that area. It's too many times we hear people say, I didn't know, or I didn't get enough notice.
Yeah.
You're being noticed. Here's the project.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, it changes the landscape, it changes the visibility of that kind of a project, traffic patterns. There's so many people that need to get involved for a project of this scope
Mm-hmm.
that we really do need to hear more. I'd like to know what the NJDOT says about the project. I want to know what the Pineland says. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Pinelands is definitely key in this project for certain, especially when you consider the wetlands that are around that
Yeah.
area.
Does Atlantic Care have any concerns?
They
Not
might.
that I think you always have to consider your neighbors, but because it's a health plex.
You legally you do though. I'm sure Atlantic Care has been noticed about this upcoming meeting.
Yeah.
So and I have all kinds of other issues with land use laws insofar as who was noticed and who isn't. I think it's only those within 200 feet, which doesn't seem like a very large area to me, but they're definitely within 200 feet of that. If you're talking about a warehouse of that size, if they're going to have truck generation, how is that going to impact emergency accessibility on Basin Road?
I just don't want to see Route 30 become a warehouse and dispensary corridor. Because right
Right.
now, if we go 10 miles down the road in Atco, they're building the big warehouse complex at the old movie theater site.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And there's plenty of dispensaries. I just, Is that the look we want? And I know you also can't control looks, but also it's just a concern and what it's going to look like. I don't care if my neighbor paints their house purple and with orange polka dots like that. I don't think you should get involved in. But other things I do think you need to be mindful of good planning.
I gotta be honest with you, just to one point real quick. There's so many liquor stores up and down the White Horse Pike, adding a couple of dispensaries now that it's considered essentially in the same legal classification, that doesn't much bother me. If we were okay with having 10 liquor stores in town at one point, then whatever you want to put on the pike is fine. But I agree about warehouses, especially if the areas are not zoned for warehouses. And there's a reason they're not zoned for it.
Yeah, liquor licenses, it's limited by number of licenses per state, per municipality. So again, that doesn't bother me. And it's just, I would like to see them being spread out through a municipality, these two
Well,
specific, including liquor stores, if you want to include them all. I wouldn't want to
yeah.
have all bookstores all right next to each other. I would,
I,
but I
I'm,
wouldn't.
don't lie. Yes, you would.
But I
Yeah,
wouldn't want
you
them
would.
all next to each
Well,
other. I'd want to see it spread out, like more thoughtful development is my point.
Okay,
the
I can follow
character of
that.
the community is important to all of us, and I think the people who live in Hammonton have a certain idea of what the character of the White Horse Pike is, and the warehouse, as you said, the zoning isn't there. Also, dispensaries were a little bit ahead of the story there because obviously we don't have those sales in this municipality as of right now. That issue has to jump through some hoops before it's an issue. But it's always look Upper Township. I think just approved it, meaning cannabis sales. So it happens and it can change. But it is we have to look at what is good for the good of the whole, and not just that one property. And we put a lot of things into play with form-based codes and things like that. There's a reason these laws are on the books. It'll be interesting to see what happens with that property.
Agreed.
Time will tell. In exciting news for Hammonton, a the latest assemblyman to be from Hammonton was sworn into office and to serve the 8th legislative district. And that was Hammonton High School educator Anthony Angelosi, who won in November. He took office last week, a week ago today. I believe that would be January 14th. January 13th, excuse me. Exciting news for Hammonton. He's an educator. He's very involved in the school district, what's going on. He won in November, so now he takes office. He started about a week ahead of the new governor. So he's just getting acclimated there. And again, this is so awesome for Hammonton because we will have direct representation. And for the people of the 8th district, it's awesome. Would I have liked to seen Assemblyman Teresi and Assemblyman Angelosi in office at the same time? Yes, I would, because then we would get to have the best of both worlds. We would
Absolutely.
have vanilla and chocolate. We'd have both
Bipartisan,
breakfast
yeah,
and lunch. It
bipartisan
could be great.
support.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
that was my hope. Send them both from Hammonton. Absolutely.
Hammonton is the center of the world, as we always say. And why can't we have everything? But this is good. We still have continuous representation from the town. And I wish Assemblyman Angelosi a lot of luck. And I hope to have him as a guest on the show in the next couple months.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great to hear from him and see what he's doing in this new position. And of course, we wish him well in the new position.
100%. And I hope that we don't hear anything from Michael Teresi wondering why we didn't have him on the show.
He was too busy with his lawn? Question mark?
He was way too busy with his lawn. Yeah. Like we tried, Mike, but you were out on the lawnmower. Sorry.
I would say, to be very fair, we didn't invite him last year because we didn't start doing interviews until end of June, early July.
Yeah, we
then
started
to
with the
me,
summer.
that was campaign season, and I didn't want to. For me personally, not speaking for you two, I didn't want to have us become political in that sense.
I agree.
Equal time.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because if we had during campaign season, then we would have had everybody who was running for those two seats. And I'm just having fun with you, Mike.
Okay.
Sincerely. Yeah, no, just having fun with you.
I think he's
Michael's
having a
welcome
little.
to join us anytime.
I think he's having a little fun with Michael as well. That's the sense I get a little.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway, you guys are mean to me, and it is duly noted your meanness. So just so we all know. If we drive to Trenton to go knock on Assemblyman Angelosi's door, we need to make sure our car has good insurance, and we recommend calling Diversified.
We recommend seeing Diversified Insurance for all your commercial and personal insurance needs. They are a value-added firm. They provide unsurpassed service, consult with you to determine your needs, and offer you a choice of insurance plans and programs. They are a value hunter who can find you the best combination of coverage, service, and price. Contact them today at 609-567-7771 or visit their website at diversifiedinsuranceofnj.com.
Yum. And Gabe, did you see that Bagley Annie's? I don't know if you saw this because I know you're not on social media as much as I am. That Bagley Annie's Market is now selling their sauce, their red sauce, by the jar. It's shelf stable.
Oh.
I did not see that, but that is
It's
great
their
news.
original recipe. They have an end cap. I was going to ask you to grab a jar when you went this weekend, and I totally forgot, but it's there.
That's great. And it's just another reason to stop by Bagley Annie's Market, where they always say, we treat our customers like family. With a variety of custom cut meats, farm fresh produce, delicious cheeses, a full deli, and more, Bagley Annie's Market has something for everyone, including their own sauce now, obviously. So they are famous for their wide variety of authentic Italian specialty products. Try their Italian bread and rolls, prepared foods, and homemade pasta. Follow their social media for weekly loyalty reward promos. Bagley Andy's Market is located at 417 12th Street in Hammonton. Call 609-561-0693 or visit Facebook and Instagram for more information.
Thanks, Gabriel. So, Data One is going to be hosting a public town hall regarding the Vineland Data Center. It's going to be held Wednesday, January 21st at 5 p.m. at the Landis Theater on Landis Avenue. The town hall is intended to provide factual project details, address community questions, which I think really means rumors, and respond to information circulating about the development. Representatives from Data One will deliver a presentation outlining the scope of the project, anticipated community impacts, infrastructure considerations, and next steps. Following the presentation, a structured Q&A session will allow residents to hear direct responses to submitted inquiries. To ensure an orderly and productive discussion, the town hall will not be an open microphone event. Members of the public were encouraged to submit questions by noon today, January 20th, so it's too late to submit questions. Residents are encouraged to attend the town hall and to watch and be participating in this focused and informative discussion. And it says Data One looks forward to engaging with the Vineland community and providing transparent, fact-based information about the project.
These data centers have become national news, as we know, and it's really interesting. We've been talking about this one for a while, and now there seems to be just a lot of questions about the project. What do you guys think?
My mind works the way my mind works. I don't know why it works that way, but
I was unsure that it worked.
Yeah, we know it works.
When I first read this notice, I immediately thought of, and I don't remember the character's name, but the guy who came to propose the monorail.
Monorail
And the town hall, and it was
on The Simpsons.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think we need to clarify it's on The Simpsons, not for some
yeah, not actually happening.
That's a seminal pop culture moment that we've talked about before on here more than once. If we have to clarify that it's The Simpsons, then we're not doing our job.
Well, good.
Yeah.
There's people who don't get the reference.
Yeah, but it was the
We're just
questions
having
must
some
be
fun with you.
Yeah, it was the questions that must be submitted beforehand. Nice recall, by the way. And they will essentially answer what they want. That's the part where I went, okay, how informative and transparent is this actually going to be? And that may be my tinfoil hat going on, but that gave me pause.
Yeah. I'm hoping that it's a respectful presentation and dialogue, and that they will open their microphones up and that they will change their mind. Be like, you know what? Let's answer a few questions because people seem to have some new ones. Or they take questions in written format, like they hand out index cards, something like that, so that they could take more questions off the cuff. Because Like somebody presents something, you're like, I have a question about something you said, and I didn't
Yeah.
know what your presentation was going to be.
Right.
Yeah. How informed can these questions be beforehand if you haven't seen the presentation?
Yeah, no, these are
Yeah.
great. This is a great thing. I also, it did not say if they were going to televise it or live stream it. Again, because
Mm.
not everybody is physically able to get out. There may be some accessibility issues, people not feeling good. We don't want a super spreader event.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So just so that the people have the opportunity to watch it or rewatch it to say, hey, oh, Bob said this or Steve said that. So I think that is important. That was not addressed. I think that Vineland did not understand how big of a project this was in terms of impact and community thinking on it until it was a little on the later end of things. And I don't think the community really was aware of the implications of a project like this until the little later of things. And I think that's always the way.
Yeah. I agree. And again, some of this comes back to land use law, because if you didn't live within 200 feet of the proposed property, you weren't even noticed when they appeared before the planning board in the first place. So how
Yeah.
would you even know this was coming?
That's the thing. If we tie a lot of stuff together here, we're talking about the data center, we're talking about public notices, we're talking about projects like the warehouse project in Hammonton. And how
The
do people
roadwork
get
project.
right? How do people get to know what's going on? Our job now is to talk about it on this podcast so that people do get an idea. Oh, okay, that's coming up. And it's an important point because I do think it's getting harder and harder to know what's happening ahead of time as we change a lot of the landscape of media and also how public notices are done and things like that. Our job is to let people know about the warehouse in Hammonton so that it doesn't get to a point like this thing in Vineland.
Yeah.
And it's one of the reasons that we pivoted to this format because this is the current format that people want. They want digital information. They want it to be accessible. They can listen to it at their own leisure. They don't necessarily want to read as much as they used to. It's a different world. We have pivoted as former black and white journalists, like literal writers in a black and white newspaper, to this format for that reason, because we believe that people need access to the information.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to do. That is why the Jersey Oddcast exists, is to provide information, to make fun of Joe, and have a
Right.
good time.
The
That's
hell was
part of it.
that?
I just slid that
I
in
think
there.
that's in our mission statement, isn't it?
I don't
We
remember
just slid that
signing
in.
that piece of
Yeah.
paper.
No. Oh.
Oh.
Uh,
I think we
but
forgot to do
still,
that. We'll have to do that the next time we go to Fiesta or something.
it's a good thing we do it all well. So it's good. And but it is critical, I think, to just as we're having this discussion today, all these things tie together. And
Yeah.
people in Hamilton need to be aware. Hey, there's a big strip center and warehouse coming. You need to know ahead of
There's
time on
going
the
to
White
be
Horse
a
Pike.
jail built in one town over in Winslow Township.
Be
No,
aware. And what is your feeling on that? All you oddballs out there. But at least you can say, hey, at least I was given a heads up ahead of time.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll go a step further. Information is so easily accessible. You don't even have to type it in. You can literally press a button on your phone and ask it a question. The problem is knowing what questions to ask. And
Right.
I think that's where we really help with that. I like
Yeah. We set the table. We set the
Yeah.
table.
yeah. On a much lighter note, Kramer Hall is having an event for educators.
They are, Gina. That's going to be coming up on Friday, March 6th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So there's some time ahead of time at Kramer Hall, Stockton University, 30 Front Street in Hammonton. This is a hands on, inspiring, what is called an altered bookmaking workshop, a unique professional development experience designed specifically for teachers. And the altered book theme, this is autobiographies. This is being put on by the Southern Regional Institute, SRI, and Educational Technology Training Center, ETTC. And it's going to be $178 per person or 7 ETTC hours. In the workshop, you're going to learn how to transform old, unwanted books into vibrant and interactive works of art using mixed media, collage, painting, and personal storytelling techniques. Whether you're looking to integrate more creative expression into your curriculum or explore cross curricular projects, this workshop is for you. And who should attend? Classroom teachers K to 12, art educators, language arts educators for journaling, history educators for timeline, sustainability and science educators for recycling. And all materials will be provided for our altered book autobiographies, but they ask that you bring at least 12 printed photographs, maximum 3-inch by 4-inch, including some smaller images, ephemera, or materials to personalize your life story. Also, consider how you would describe who you are in 12 pages. You may choose to start with your childhood or with who you are right now. Materials and lunch are included. And what you'll learn are techniques for deconstructing and transforming books, mixed media methods, including collage, paint, stamps, and interactive techniques, ways to use altered books in language arts, history, and art classrooms, and ideas for student projects that promote reflection, identity, and creativity. So, this is for the teachers out there. It's coming up, and I really think that they're happy to partner with the Noise Museum of Art of Stockton University to host this teachers workshop for New Jersey educators at Stockton University's Kramer Hall on Front Street in Hammonton.
Yeah, Kramer Hall has really become a community center for different types of events with a learning focus and an art focus. And I just think this is another wonderful thing. I wish it wasn't just for teachers because I'd be like, I'm coming.
I have one question as a point of clarification. What is an unwanted book?
Right.
I know what those words mean separately, but put them together and I don't follow that. What is
Yeah,
that?
I had that same question. Like, as someone who loves books, is there any such thing as an unwanted book? But I guess what
Yeah,
they
it's
mean is less wanted. Maybe is a better
okay.
way of saying.
Because in my mind, it was like seeing all those recipes that call for leftover wine. What is that? I don't. There's a lot of things I just don't understand.
Yeah. Be sure to sign up for this event or reach out to the team at Kramer Hall and Noise Museum for more information.
Yeah, I think this sounds cool. By the way, I think this sounds amazing, and it's a great way to repurpose. Say, I at one point had 5 copies of The Godfather. I probably would have repurposed one of those using this. I think it's cool.
That would be the title of your autobiography?
Every time I went, and I felt I felt like Mel Gibson from Conspiracy Theory, because every time I went to a book sale, if there was a copy of The Godfather, I'd pick it up for a quarter, but I'd give them to people who had never read it. I didn't hoard them. I'm like, oh, you've never read it? I've got a copy. Here you go.
See, this is the difference between you and me, Joe, because I thought you were going to say you were going to be like John Cusack in Serendipity looking for that book that the woman liked. And then he finds like the day before his like wedding to the other girl. So yeah, but no,
No,
we're different people.
we are decidedly different people. Yes.
Yeah. I've noticed that on the events calendar, there's a lot of things popping up for the spring and summer outdoor events, which always means to me that there's going to be a need for porta potties, which makes me think of our good friends at Demeglio Septic.
Demiglio Septic and Quality Sanitation are here for a variety of services, including septic pump out, grease trap service, high pressure jetting, portable toilets, as you said, and more. Call 609-561-3597 or go to demiglioseptic.com for Demiglio Septic or call 609-561-4666 for Quality Sanitation. Experience the Demiglio difference, a promise of superior service, quality, and reliability.
Let's stick with the Noise Museum. I believe there's a reception coming up end of the month, somewhere around there.
Yes, there is. On January 29th from 5 to 6:30 p.m., there will be an opening reception for the museum's newest exhibition, Daniel Robert Horn's What Does It Mean to Be an American? According to a release, this exhibition showcases the artist's portraits of explorers, thinkers, activists, and everyday people, reminding us that the American identity is not defined by a single figure or moment, but by a diverse mosaic of stories. From frontier pioneers and revolutionary leaders to abolitionists, cultural trailblazers, and modern citizens, each portrait reflects a different facet of the nation's evolving character. Together, these works invite viewers to consider how courage, resilience, creativity, and hope shape the ongoing story of America and how individuals from every walk of life contribute to its meaning. Again, the reception is on January 29th from 5 to 6:30 p.m. at Kramer Hall, 30 Front Street, and visitors will have the opportunity to meet the artist, check out the portraits, and enjoy live music by James Melton.
Sounds cool. Again, a different event, something different to do. It's indoors. Why not?
And quite apropos during the nation's semi-quincentennial. That is a word that I learned.
Very
You
good.
said it.
Thank
You
you.
said it. Semi-quincentennial.
Yep. You heard it here first.
Yeah, I remember when we had the sesquicentennial in Hammonton. I think most people just called it the 150th. I think you're going to probably have a lot of 250 people same way.
I think so. But I think it's quite appropriate for the year. I think it's going to be interesting.
I'm proud of it that it's happening in Hammonton. I am excited to see this. Anytime you can expose yourself to different types of art is important. It changes the way you think. It challenges you. Even if you just look at it and go, I don't like that, it still has you thinking.
Yeah.
And that's what art should do. You don't have to like every piece of art that you like, that you see. I remember going to the Museum of Modern Art in New York and being like, this is not my style. But I appreciated it and it got me thinking and it made me think I don't like this, which is fine. But I
Yeah.
went and I looked at it.
Yeah, and you're right.
Yeah.
That's exactly what art should do. It should make you think. It should challenge your perception. Some of it should be aesthetically pleasing. Some of it doesn't have to be. But
No.
art should. Art is expression, and expression should generate thought. It logically
Yeah.
follows.
Yeah, and we keep touting Stockton University and Kramer Hall, but we should, because the accessibility that we now have to this art and to these openings and to just being broadened by it, by education, by art, by having that facility there in the downtown in Hammonton is an asset to the community. And we talk about, again, the character of the community. Stockton has become a great community partner, and the Noise Museum is a part of that as well.
Yes.
And two of the people that work there, Nick and Christina, are like the nicest people you'll ever meet. So you could always make new friends too if you go there.
Yeah. I think we said this last week, but you can't walk away from them without smiling. They
Yeah,
brighten your day.
for sure.
So
They're
there's
doing a
that
great
said.
job.
Yeah.
Speaking of brightening your day, did you know that you can get a breakfast for under $15 per person if you go to a community breakfast that's coming up?
Yes, that's the Inskip Antlers all you can eat breakfast. That's going to be at 729 Piney Hollow Road in Winslow, New Jersey. It's coming up very shortly on Sunday, February 1st from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. It's 4 hours, obviously, and anyone's invited. You can start your day off right by having an all you can eat breakfast with scrambled eggs, fried potatoes, bacon, sausage patties, pancakes, and rolls. Orange juice and coffee are included. Don't miss out on this delicious breakfast buffet at an unbeatable price. Adults just $12 and kids 12 and under $7. 729, like I said, Piney Hollow Road. Definitely check it out. It's an event that I think it's worthwhile, and you can get where else can you get an all you can eat breakfast for $12 for adults or $7 for kids, guys.
Yeah.
I think a fast food breakfast will cost you more than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's certainly not all you can eat.
No.
Yeah.
So, like, why not go check it out? Mr. Lancetta used to bring me this announcement twice a year back at the paper, and I thought that was great. And it's good to see that they still do it. So, something to check out February 1st. Why not? New month, new you, new breakfast. $12.
Yeah, and you're supporting an organization.
Even better.
Yeah.
And that's what we try to do here. As a community, we try to support each other and help these events continue going on. But there's
Yeah,
a lot of events happening. Gabe?
Yes, not just at Inskip Antlers, which is a great tradition, as you said, Gina, that they do that each year. But the Rocco's Townhouse Community Calendar is filled with events right now. And Rocco's Townhouse, they pride themselves on being a spot where everyone can meet and eat. Delicious appetizers, entrees, burgers, and more, along with a full bar and plenty of craft beers on tap. Remember, everyone meets at the Townhouse, 21 North 3rd Street in Hammonton. Call them at 609-561-9384 or visit roccostownhouse.com. And now the Rocco's Townhouse community calendar for late January. Let's look at what's happening around South Jersey because winter may be cold, but the calendar is anything but. First off, if comfort food is your love language, the Holy Trinity Greek Orthodox Church Greek Winter Feast is back in Egg Harbor Township. That's January 30th, 31st, and February 1st at Holy Trinity on Ridge Avenue in Egg Harbor Township. Friday night runs from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m., Saturday noon to 11 p.m., and Sunday 11:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. You'll find authentic Greek food, homemade pastries, cocktails, Greek dance performances, and Saturday night entertainment with DJ Khan from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Dine in or take out, but trust me, you'll want dessert. Next up, grab your Lucky Charms and your bingo cards. The Sunshine Foundation's Hammonton Wishing Well chapter is hosting Winter Bingo on Friday, January 31st, starting at 6 p.m. at the Elm Firehouse on the White Horse Pike, Route 30. Tickets are $45, and that includes dinner, dessert, and bingo cards. It's BYOB. There's a gift card auction, and all proceeds support children with lifelong medical challenges. For tickets, you can call Susie or Karen. We'll have that info posted. Puzzle people, this next one's for you. The Vineland Public Library is hosting a jigsaw puzzle free trade event on Saturday, January 24th from 10:30 a.m. to noon. Bring your gently used completed puzzles anywhere from 300 to 2,000 pieces and trade them for something new to you. No money exchanged, all ages welcome, and yes, please tape your boxes shut. And finally, a little glamour, a little drama, and a lot of pop. The Broadway Theater of Pittman presents Lady Gaga Experience, Born This Way, on Thursday, January 29th at 7 p.m. Tickets are $30, including tax and fees, and seats are limited. So if you want in, don't wait. That's your Rocco's Townhouse community calendar, bringing you the best of what's happening around South Jersey. The Oddcast community calendar is sponsored by Rocco's Townhouse.
Thanks, Gabe. There's a lot of cool stuff happening.
Yeah. Quick question for the bingo. Did you mean talismans or the cereal? You said bring your Lucky Charms.
That's funny. I would say talismans. If you want to bring a box of Lucky Charms, you certainly can. But I think they mean good luck, rabbit's feet, and things like that.
Okay. All right. Just looking for clarification.
This is why you have no friends.
This is really why I have no friends. Yes.
That's not why.
Let's talk about the Oddcast pop culture moment. Taylor Sheridan has a new show that's coming out on Paramount Plus, and it's called The Madison with Michelle Pfeiffer and Kurt Russell. And it's a show that is going to be a quote-unquote neo-Western drama. It comes out March 14th, and it follows this family as they settle down in the Madison River Valley after making the move to Montana from New York City. And it's going to be interesting. Taylor Sheridan is the guy behind Landman, Yellowstone, all the Yellowstone spin-offs. I don't know. It could be good. I love Michelle Pfeiffer. I love me some Kurt Russell. What's his name is also in it? Fox from Lost, Matthew Fox. This could be really good, and he always seems to strike gold, or if you want to say oil.
Strike oil, yeah. Black gold. That's his tea.
That's a different era of television, but yeah, we're there. Early hillbillies.
I feel like this is going to be something really good. It has this amazing possibility, and I'm probably going to watch it since I have a Paramount Plus subscription. It's another show. I now need to be committed to it. I'm just not sure that I can emotionally do that. Landman has me. It has me right here.
Sheridan.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead, Joe. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I was unfamiliar with the name Taylor Sheridan, and as you were describing the show, I'm like, that sounds like 1883. But now that makes sense, and it's probably going to be just as good as 1883, and I think 1923. I've seen some of Landman. That's fantastic. I think Yellowstone is probably the best acting that Kevin Costner's ever done because he's finally just himself, and that includes Untouchables and Field of Dreams. I think he's
For
at the
Love of the
top of
Game
his
is
game.
my favorite, and Bull Durham.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
liked
but
For Love of the Game, but I saw it coming when he was going to saw his thumb. I saw that coming a mile away. But I think he's at the top of his game right now. And so if this is by the same guy who's done all of that, then I can't see how this isn't going to be good.
yeah, Taylor Sheridan is having more than a moment. He's having a string of moments. And I think
Yeah,
when you look at the body of work that the guy has put out, and talk about prolific,
in
the
a
guy is
relatively short time.
correct. Really, it's amazing to see. It's like a hit factory for this guy. And I think this will probably fall in line with that. Probably.
Yeah.
Like, I never found Billy Bob Thornton to be appealing,
Oh, I've loved
and
him from the start.
like as like a woman to man thing, and
Oh.
Man, I'm like, okay, I get it. And I don't know what it is about that character, but I'm like, yep, no, I see it. Like Kevin Costner always understood that one.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Harrison Ford, sure, no problem, understand. But I'm like, okay, Billy Bob Thornton, he did something there. And there's just something about that character. He just draws really interesting characters.
Yeah.
And
It
again,
all
I'm
starts
curious.
it all starts with the writing. And the writing
Yeah.
is excellent. And then the acting is excellent. And then
And the
everything comes
world
together.
building.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting to see.
He's managed to do on television. And when did Yellowstone start? 8 years ago, maybe.
Something like
He's got a body of work that like rivals people who have been in the industry for decades.
June 20th, 2018.
Okay.
So
I was at about 8 years ago. Go me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not a lot of time.
No, not for this string of one after another hits that he's had. So that's the evidence supports that this is going to be just as good.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that we could say about him and Taylor Sheridan, but creative, talented, world building, those are all the things I think about with him, and I'm excited to see what this new show is about. Again, Michelle Pfeiffer, have not seen a lot of her stuff in a number of years. Like, she hasn't been as prolific, but this could be a great year for her.
She just had a Christmas movie on Amazon, and I cannot remember what it was called, but it was hysterical, and it was essentially about this mom who does everything to put together Christmas perfect every year, and her family doesn't appreciate her, so she snaps.
Hmm.
Yeah,
and should
not not like violently, but she's
yeah.
what? I'm out, and she like drives across country to go to a talk show. She was great in it. It was hysterical, but I can't remember the name of it.
And is Taylor Sheridan like a Donald P. Belisario or like an Aaron Spelling of that era, or like a Norman Lear, but
Or Dick
for his
Wolf.
genre?
Yeah, or Dick Wolf. It's when not only that, he's repurposing existing sort of iconic actors and actresses who now get brought to a new level based on the
Mm-hmm.
material. And so we talked about Kevin Costner, we talked about Billy Bob Thornton, and now Michelle Pfeiffer and Kurt Russell have a great opportunity, a golden opportunity to have that happen to them too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So excited to see. Again, that's coming out in March. And that's your Oddcast pop culture moment. If you're going to be watching the new Taylor Sheridan show, maybe you want to put on a hoodie from the Oddcast.
Yeah, you might want to put on a hoodie. You could, if you got to go outdoors for any reason, you could put on a hat. Don't wear one indoors, please, because I've got
Maybe issues
issues
with
with
that.
that. Major issues with that. You sitting there watching it, you could be drinking something warm and toasty out of a mug. We've got all of that: magnets, T-shirts, tumblers, and Gina said we've got a classic crew neck sweatshirt, a pullover hoodie, and a zip-up hoodie, and you can find all of it and maybe more at jersey-oddcast.printify.me.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate that as always. It's time for the Oddcast Odd Poll, and this one has to do with traffic and construction projects. So, which NJ road causes you the most emotional damage? Locally, is it Route 54 or the White Horse Pike? Is it the Atlantic City Expressway? Or is it Route 206? Or is it all of them? And that's the whole point about driving in New Jersey.
That's a good question. We're going to go with the White Horse Pike for me.
Okay.
A lot of traffic, especially going in and out of town when you're heading towards Egg Harbor. The way it narrows down to no shoulder, it's inconsistent. The White Horse Pike causes me consternation.
54 for me. I think it's a major artery, obviously, in Hammonton, but also it's a connector between Vineland and Hammonton. It's one of those, again, roads that you get on and you say to yourself, this road should be wider, but it doesn't ever happen. Now, 206 definitely has that same problem. And it's just, it's interesting to me that they're going to do all this work to 54, but they're not really, it doesn't sound like they're going to widen it. So I think it's one of those roads you get on and you're like, wow, I'm really stuck behind this truck for the next whatever. So 54, I'd say for me. How about you, Gina?
206 all day, every day. It just, look, if I'm not driving, I'm asleep by the time we hit the Red Barn. That's a known fact. But having been up and down it quite a bit in the last couple months, and yeah, no, I hate it. It's just, I feel like I get stuck behind a tractor trailer, and then by the time the passing lane comes up, I can't pass them. And I'm just like, oh, this road is interminable. It just never ends. And then the song that never ends starts playing in my head. Joe, I'm sure you can sing it for us.
Oh, why? Why did you do that?
Because I love torturing you.
Yes, it goes on and on, my friend.
Exactly.
Oh, here we go.
And then finally I'm like, oh, thank goodness I can get on the turnpike. Thank you. And that's the only reason I'm on it, is to get to the turnpike. Unless I'm going to Piccadilly, that's a different story. But that's a fast trip.
Yeah.
But no, 206 for me. So let us know, oddballs, what your road of pain is in New Jersey, or at least in South Jersey. That would be great. I was at my mom's house recently, and she's getting ready to downsize, and there's just a lot of stuff after living 40 years in one place. And, she is going to need to get rid of some materials. So she will probably need to find a place by her that has a dumpster service. Locally, thankfully, we have people we could trust at United Roll-Off.
That's right, Gina. Looking for fast, reliable dumpster service? Call United Roll-Off Service and Recycling LLC. Family owned by the Grasso family and proudly serving South Jersey since 1999. 3 generations strong, United Roll-Off is your local solution for household cleanouts, construction debris, concrete, and yard waste, with 11, 20, and 30-yard dumpsters ready when you need them. Serving Hammonton and all of Atlantic, Burlington, Camden, Cumberland, and Gloucester counties, they've got the size, service, and local touch you can trust. Visit them at 735 Wiltsey's Mill Road, Hammonton, or call 609-561-8287 to get started today. United Roll-Off, local, loyal, and ready to haul.
Thank you, Gabe. When I think of New Jersey, I don't think of mining, but there turns out there is a mining museum. And this is our Oddcast Odd Fact for the week. Hidden in the Wallkill Valley, the borough of Ogdensburg may feel quaint and pastoral today, but beneath its 2.2 square miles lies one of the most geologically extraordinary places in the world, the Sterling Hill Mining Museum. Ogdensburg history notes its root in mining long before anyone understood exactly what they were digging up. In the 1600s, early Dutch settlers were searching for copper and iron, mistakenly believing the strange minerals at Sterling Hill contained both. Some samples were even shipped to Wales in 1772 for smelting, where experts discovered the rocks held neither iron nor copper. Instead, they were rich in zinc. By 1836, zinc mining began in earnest, eventually leading to consolidation under New Jersey Zinc Company in 1897. Over nearly a century, the mine expanded from an open pit to a vast underground operation, plunging 2,670 feet, 75 feet below the surface, with 35 miles of tunnels. Mining continued until just 40 years ago in 1986, when operations ceased and the mine was allowed to flood. Today, only the upper level above the water table is accessible, and that's where the magic happens. One of the most anticipated spots on the underground tour is the Rainbow Tunnel. Here, intensely fluorescent zinc ore is exposed along the tunnel walls. When illuminated with shortwave ultraviolet light, the rock literally comes to alive, glowing bright green and red in stunning natural display. The red fluorescence comes from calcite, while the vivid green is willemite, one of the primary zinc ore minerals mined at Sterling Hill. The effect is so striking, it almost feels unreal, like stepping into a neon lit cavern carved by nature itself. This is a powerful reminder that New Jersey history isn't just written in town records and old photos. Sometimes it's glowing right beneath our feet. So, for more information, just go to the Sterling Hill Mining Museum website. It's open on the weekends, and it's about 56 degrees in the tunnels itself, so you will need a jacket. And I just thought that was cool because, like, I never even heard of that, having lived in New Jersey all these years and right next to New Jersey for my whole life. So I love that.
Yeah.
Have you guys been there?
No, I've never even heard of Ogdensburg until this moment. I thought, circling back, that was one of the towns that was put on the map by the monorail in The Simpsons.
That's the idea.
That's more of a Shelbyville.
Yeah, but we did this here and there in Ogdensburg, and by gum, it put them on the map. It was something similar to that. But this sounds neat. This sounds really neat.
I think it's amazing to see in photos of it showing this fluorescent light and this amazing look of what these rock formations look like under fluorescent light. It is really a rainbow of color. It's amazing how deep that mine went at one time. It's still obviously pretty underground. You get a sense that it would be worth a trip if you like that sort of thing to check out these rock formations and the colors and things like that. It seems like a unique place.
It's about 2.5 hours north of here.
Oh.
So it's like to the west of Wayne and West Milford. And it's
so that's up by the point of the state then.
Yeah, it's not far. It doesn't look like from where my family's from. It looks like it's more. It's maybe it's like a 45-minute drive from them. So it's not far from the Jersey border.
Okay.
From the Jersey-New York border.
Right.
It's near Franklin, New Jersey, and all that. So it's a drive, but maybe worth it if you want to head up that way towards the Delaware River Water Gap or whatever that is. So something to do.
Definitely.
New Jersey's odd, and I'm here to find all the oddest things about it.
That's definitely odd.
Yeah.
The Rainbow Tunnel portion of that is super odd, for sure.
Although, if you drive up there, you may have to take 206. So
Yes, you do. I already looked.
Oh, well.
Snarky.
Might be worth it.
Yeah.
Oh, Joe, are we going to have good weather this week, or are we going to have evil snow?
Since you asked, it sounds like it is time for the Oddcast forecast according to the app on my smartphone and sponsored by Ben Castone Landscaping. Call Ben Castone for all your landscaping needs at 609-561-3452. They're here to keep your yard looking great no matter what the season. And at least for the next several days, it's not going to be too bad. Wednesday, we're looking at partly cloudy, clouds off and on, high of 42, low of 34. Thursday, same thing, mix of clouds and sun, high of 47, low of 23. And Friday, intervals of sunshine and clouds with a high of 40 and a low of 20. After that, we're looking for the temperatures to dip again, but that's so far out, that could change by the time we get there.
Okay, so a little bit of something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Joe, if people want to get in touch with us, how can they do that?
They should call you directly, and I will give them your cell phone number. I'm
Thanks,
kidding.
Joe.
Yeah. For more information,
out there.
Yeah, they can always email us at jerseyoddcast@gmail.com. They can call us at 609-444-6178. Listen to us on YouTube or their favorite podcasting service. Visit our socials on Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, or TikTok. Or, as always, visit our website, jerseyoddcast.com.
Thanks, Joe.
I was going to just joke and say, and here's Joe's cell phone number if you want it. No, just kidding. We're not doing it.
If you want to have your tree removed, be sure to call Joe.
That's right.
That is not how that works. Yeah.
Bring him up. No. Go ahead.
I just love that, by the way, when Joe says tree permits, and I do want to say, going back to the Environmental Commission, because I didn't say it earlier, Dan Bachalis was a very valued commissioner and a long-time member of the Environmental Commission, and he really cared and due diligence. But everyone always says it's a tree permit. It is a tree removal permit because you don't need a permit to plant trees.
Right.
Please plant.
Yeah, it is a tree removal permit application.
Yeah.
Right.
So, Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to say that out there. And again, thank you everyone for listening this week. We'll be back next week with more commentary, community, and chaos. Have a great week.
Have a great
Take
week,
care.
everybody.